Cars have always been complex machines, but some took complexity to an entirely new level, often in the name of innovation, sometimes in the name of insanity. Today, we're diving into the most over-engineered, technologically ambitious, and sometimes downright baffling cars ever made. This is a countdown of the most complicated cars ever built, presented in chronological order. At number 1, Ford Fairlane 500 Skyliner, 1957. Let's kick things off with a car that redefined the convertible game. The Ford Fairlane 500 Skyliner wasn't just another drop top, it was the first mass-produced coupe convertible with a retractable hardtop. And what a mechanism it was. 7 electric motors, 4 jacks, 10 solenoids, 10 limit switches, 4 locking mechanisms, and over 600 feet of wiring. All of that just to put the roof down. Back in '57, this was like having a transformer in your driveway. At number 2, Rover P6, 1963. Next up is the British-built Rover P6. It looked conservative on the outside, but under the skin, it was radical. The body panels, unstressed. The front suspension, a bell crank design. It was supposed to house a gas turbine engine, but that never happened. Instead, they squeezed in a 3.5-liter V8. All this innovation made it a joy to drive and a nightmare to restore. Still, for 1963, it was a glimpse into the future of car design. At number 3, Mercedes-Benz 600, 1964. When dictators and rock stars needed a ride, they turned to the Mercedes-Benz 600. Why? Because this car was a mechanical marvel. Air suspension, twin heating systems, vacuum-operated windows, and locks. And let's not forget Bosch fuel injection. At a time when carburetors were still king, it was the ultimate flex. And today, it's the ultimate headache for restorers, with parts as rare and pricey as the people who once rode in it. At number 4, BRMH16, 1966. Now let's head to the racetrack. The BRMH16 wasn't just complicated, it was mind-bending. 2 flat-8 engines stacked on top of each other, each with its own crankshaft, geared together in a monster known as the H16. Lotus gave it a shot in their Type 43. It won a single Grand Prix, and then they abandoned it. It was powerful, but heavy, unreliable, and near impossible to work on. A beautiful disaster. At number 5, Citroen SM, 1970. Citroen bought Maserati in 1968, and the SM was their love child. A French body, an Italian heart, and a whole lot of quirks. A 2.7-liter V6 powered everything, from the wheels, to the brakes, to the hydro-pneumatic suspension. Even the headlights turned with the steering wheel. Advanced? Yes. Reliable? Not so much. The SM is now seen as a masterpiece, but back then it was more fragile than it was futuristic. Please hit the subscribe button if you're enjoying this video. It really helps the channel. At number 6, Citroen Beirator, 1973. Another Citroen and another bold experiment, this time with rotary power. The Beirator took the GS and dropped in a twin-rotor engine developed with NSU. Fast, smooth, and destined to die young. Only 847 were made before Peugeot shut it all down, fearing it would tarnish the Citroën name. Most were bought back and scrapped. Today, the few survivors are relics of a parallel automotive universe that never came to be. At number 7, Aston Martin Laganda, 1976. The Aston Martin Laganda looked like a spaceship, and inside, it almost was. Touch-sensitive controls, digital displays, a dashboard that looked like it belonged in a science fiction movie. It was cutting edge, and buyers were intrigued until things started breaking. Fixing these electronics wasn't just expensive, it was borderline impossible. Aston eventually simplified things, but by then the damage was done. Only 645 Lagandas were ever sold. A tech dream that turned into a maintenance nightmare. At number 8, Buick Riata, 1988. Next we have Buick's attempt to get funky. The Riata was supposed to be a stylish hand-built halo car. It featured a digital dash and a touchscreen computer in the late 80s, far ahead of its time. Problem was, it was built in a boutique factory that couldn't match the scale or efficiency of the big boys. With only 21,751 units sold over 4 years, the Riata's legacy is one of promise and production headaches. At number 9, Mitsubishi 3000 GT 1990. The 3000 GT wasn't just a car, it was a science project. All-wheel drive, active aero, 4-wheel steering, electronically controlled suspension, and a twin-turbo V6 with nearly 300 horsepower. This car was packed with every piece of tech Mitsubishi could dream up. It looked amazing on paper, and it performed well. But all that complexity made it heavy, expensive, and hard to love long-term. Today, that same over-engineering makes it a cult favorite among modern classic fans. At number 10, Subaru SVX 1991. Finally, we end with one of Subaru's strangest creations, the SVX. Designed to compete with the likes of the Toyota Supra and Nissan 300ZX, it featured a 3.3-liter flat-six engine and all-wheel drive. It even had windows, inside windows, but the high price, quirky design, and unsure market position doomed it. Subaru moved on to rallying glory with the Impreza, and the SVX faded into obscurity. These cars weren't just transportation, they were statements. Some worked brilliantly, others not so much. But whether they were a triumph of engineering or a cautionary tale, they all dared to be different, and that's what makes them unforgettable. Which one blew your mind the most? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more videos like this.